ಮಾತನು ಹೌದು. ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಗೂ ಈ ಎನ್ನ ಕೈ ಪಿಡಿದು ನಡೆಸಿರುವೆ. ಸಿದ್ಧಿದಾಯಕ, ವಿಘ್ನ ನಿವಾರಕ, ಹೇರಂಬ ಗಜಮುಖನು ನೀನೆ, ಅಮೃತ ವರ್ಷಿಣಿ, ಅನ್ನಪೂರ್ಣೇಶ್ವರಿ, ಜ್ಞಾನವಾಹಿನಿ ದೇವಿಯೂ ನೀನೆ, ಲೋಕರಕ್ಷಕ, ಆನಂದ ಮೂರ್ತಿ, ಕೈಲಾಸ ಪರಶುವನು ನೀನೆ, ಗುರುಮಾತೆ ಜಾನಕ್ಕ, ನಮ್ಮಪ್ಪ ಶಂಕರಲಿಂಗ ಸಹ ನೀನೆ. ನಿನ್ನ ಅನಂತ ಸ್ವರೂಪವನ್ನು ಅರಸುತ್ತಾ ಆದೆನು ನಾನೊಂದು ಬಿಂದು. ಆಕಾಶದ ಒಡೆಯನೋಡು ಪ್ರೇಮ ಮೌನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರುವುದೇ ಸಾಧು. ದಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲದ ಭಗವಂತ ದಿಕ್ಕನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸು. ದಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲದ ಭಗವಂತ ದಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್. ದಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲದ ಭಗವಂತ ದಿಕ್ಕನ್ನು ತೋರಿಸು, ಆಧರಿಸು, ಉದ್ಧರಿಸು, ಸಂತೈಸು, ಒಂದಾಗಿಸು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಅವರ್ topic of the day. The brothers of the divine family of the self, the immortal son of divine love, Mr. Prem Kumar. The topic is fourth dimension. Before knowing fourth dimensions, first we must know what are the other three dimensions. Many people ask it. Other day I was to speak on the same subject. When I was coming in auto, perhaps I was in three dimension. Suddenly I was given a rude shock. I was thrown into fourth dimension. Actually, I could not know what happened. I did not bother also. Later on, I discovered many wounds on my body and all that. I was never perturbed. Perhaps it was a God's blessing, sir. I was never perturbed. Nothing happened to me. Very calmly, I asked the policeman to give me another auto so that I can go to the hospital and get myself attended. So like that I went to the hospital. The hospital nurses and the doctor attended me. They took my BP. The BP was quite normal, and within about half an hour I've made a lot of friends. I believe in making friendship, the true friendship, the inner friendship, the inner cause. So probably that creating the friendly world is the result of number one, meditation. Number two is fourth dimension. It is the benefit of the fourth dimension. Anyway, before dwelling into the subject of these dimensions, as a preamble to my talk, let me quote a small story. There was an entity called darkness. Darkness went to God and made a complaint. He made a complaint. Oh God, the sun is troubling me. The sun is harassing me. Sun is killing me. He is not allowing to live my life peacefully. God heard all the complaint from the darkness and he said, why do you worry when I am here? Don't worry, don't fear when I am here. I will call the sun and inquire about the matter. He called the sun, inquired, oh sun, why are you troubling this darkness? What is the pleasure that you derive in harassing him? Why don't you leave him free? Then sun looked at it. There was no darkness. He was confused. He said, oh God, what is it that you are telling? Where is that darkness? I have not seen him. Will you please call him before me? I will fall at his feet and ask for the apology. God looked at this side. There was no darkness because the sun came, the darkness disappeared. Then the God was puzzled. God said, okay son, you can go back to your duties. I will resolve the matter later on. When the sun went back, again the darkness appeared. In the human court, there can be ex parte judgment. With one party you can give the judgment. But in the God's court, the ex parte judgment is not possible. Both the parties should be available. Whom you call the God, He is almighty, all powerful. The so-called almighty, all powerful God has not been able to do one thing up till today, that He has not been able to unite both the darkness and light together. Here the message is very simple. When the light comes, the darkness goes. When the knowledge comes, when the clarity comes, your ignorance is gone. When your ignorance is gone, all your miseries are gone. When your miseries are gone, there is all around happiness. The happiness leads to harmony. Harmony leads to efficiency. Efficiency leads to productivity. Productivity leads to welfare. and welfare leads to peace. The Vedic prayers, they ask for the peace. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And what we want is not the peace for the mere individual. We want the global peace. We want the peace for the entire community, entire society, entire humanity. And that is what we want. So for that, you must get light. You must not only get the light, you must also be the light. When you are the light, wherever you go, there is light, and wherever you are, there is a light. In fact, all of you are Jyoti Swarupas. Jyoti Swarupas. What is this light? You are the energy. You are the light. You are to manifest in the form of light. You are the light itself. If you take a small piece of stone, throw it at a speed more than the speed of the light, the matter, it becomes the energy, it becomes the light itself. It becomes the light itself. Similarly, you have the potential energy. You are a seed. You are a seed capable of growing into gigantic banyan tree of wisdom, provided you are sown into fertile ground and nourished with the waters of support and manures of motivation. ಆ ಬೀಜಕ್ಕೆ ಅನಂತ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಫಲಭರಿತ ಪುಷ್ಪ ಅಥವಾ ಆಗುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ವೃಕ್ಷವಾಗುವಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಆ ಬೀಜಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಬಟ್ ಹೂ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ನರಿಶ್? ನೋಬಡಿ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡೂ ದಿಸ್. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನರಿಶ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್. Bhagavad-gita says, Uddare Atman Atmanam. That's why Vivekananda says, each soul is potentially divine. You are a potential energy. You should convert yourself into kinetic energy of expression and use. For that, I tell you, you must know your fourth dimension. Without knowing your fourth dimension, you do not know what you are. You do not know your base. You do not know your core. You do not know your root. You are only seeing the branches. You are seeing everything. But you do not know your root. You do not know your existence. So you must know yourself very much. So before that, we people, we start blaming. We blame everything. The road is thorny. What to do? Nothing. It's not a problem at all. If the road is thorny, wear an appropriate shoe. There ends the matter. So the weather is very bad. What if? Weather is bad. So wear an appropriate sweater or take an umbrella or something. Weather is not going to do any harm to you. Similarly, the world is very dark. The entire world is dark. So for that reason, during the night, you can't bring another sun. Carry a simple torch or the lamp of wisdom. When you take the lamp, it is not at all dark. Wherever you go, there is a light at all. So there is no. And all around there are viruses. What if? There be viruses. Inside there is virus, there are viruses. Outside there is. When you are a man of robust health, so no virus can touch you. Only when you are a man of weak constitution, weak health, the viruses will come and attack. And all that is necessary is to energize yourself. You must know what is your inner strength. I am not talking of the outer strength. Outer strength is nothing. The inner strength, is very, very important. So for that, I would like to give you a formula of beauty. What is that beauty? First of all, you must bring that beauty. Any personality development, the beauty should appear on your face. But more than that, the beauty should appear in your heart. The beauty of the face and beauty of the heart. So let me tell you a small story. The Socrates was known for his ugliness. He was very ugly. The young people, girls and boys, wanted to make a lot of fun about Socrates. So they drew a picture depicting the ugliness of Socrates. They were just waiting for the arrival of Socrates. Socrates, the beautiful man, the ugly man with inner beauty, he just came. He came onto the scene. He saw the picture and he stunned the boys by telling, my dear boys and girls, your picture, it is not as ugly as mine. And the boys were confused. So because the boys, they failed to depict the real ugliness, the outward ugliness of it. So we must know how to spot out the beauty in ugliness. So everything is not ugly in life. It depends upon how we look at it. The beauty depends upon the beholder's eyes. So life is very beautiful. Everything depends upon how we see it. So we have to change the spectacle. We have to change the power of the eye so that we will be able to see the beauty. So let me give a small formula for the beauty. So what is the beauty formula? How to bring that beauty into your personality? So number one is purity. So the purity of mind is required. the clarity of the intellect. Purity plus clarity plus charity plus serenity plus dignity is equal to beauty. Just dwell on each topic. I don't want to go into the details. The purity of the mind, the clarity of the intellect. Purity plus clarity, charity. Charity means not the physical charity, the charitable outlook. Charity plus serenity, the smile. Buddha was known for the compassionate smile. Krishna was known for the cosmic smile. But we modern people, we also know how to smile. It is the cosmetic smile, it is the synthetic smile, it is the plastic smile, it is the Sibaka smile. We do not know how to smile, genuine smile. The genuine winning smile, no, we do not know. The smile is the costliest apparel. The one of the beautiful ornaments that anybody can wear is the smile. The serenity, and more than anything, the dignity, the human dignity, all this makes you contribute to your dignity. Friends, every person coming into this planet make two types of journey. One is a horizontal journey. What is this horizontal journey? The horizontal journey is to become man, a human. So you have to question yourself, are you a human being? We may say, but it is contestable. Whether we are really human beings, it can be contested. So you have to become human being. So what is the vertical journey? You have to become a divine being. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So Pashu Prajne, Manava Prajne, Daiva Prajne. Pashu, Manava, Daiva. So I am talking in terms of consciousness. So that is the thing. So how to start this journey? It should start from somewhere. So the horizontal journey, it starts from the data level. Data plus processing is information. Information plus intelligence is knowledge. Knowledge plus experience is wisdom. Wisdom plus ambition is mission. And mission plus action is fulfillment. Now you have to examine, where are you? What is your station of life? Are you at the data level? Are you at the information level? Are you at the knowledge level? Are you at the wisdom level? Are you at the mission level? Are you at the fulfillment level? But what is necessary is, don't stagnate in a particular station. You have to move on. That is what is important. Never bother about your present station of life. What is necessary? You have to move on. So for that, let me tell you, don't become a pond water, become a river water. So what is the criteria? The pond water. Pond is static. The water never flows. It is a breeding ground for various germs and diseases, because it is stinking, it is rotting, it is smelling. So the pond water. So never be static. Just go on, be dynamic, be moving like a river. The river touches various places. It takes various twists and turns. Sometimes it is turbulent, sometimes it is serene, and finally it will gracefully join the ocean. Similarly in life, when you are river-like, when you are moving, you come across mountains and valleys of experiences, lots of ups and downs of life. Of course, you are in a turmoil, but never bother. What is important is flowing is very important. Flow with life very naturally, gracefully, beautifully. You flow. When you flow, what happens is ultimately you join the ocean. And when you join the ocean, you will be in the fourth dimension. You will be in the fourth dimension. So there you will be able to contain all the pangs, all the pains, all the sufferings. You will be able to contain all the problems. There is no such problem or else a thing as the ocean contains all the waves and the movements, So you will be able to contain all worldly problems and sufferings yourself, because you are something oceanic, you are encompassing, you are a large-hearted personality, you are a total person, you are space-like, as space accommodates the Milky Ways, the galaxies and all that, So when you are space-like, without any boundaries, you will be able to accommodate. How you can become space-like? It is only when you go to the fourth dimension, it will be possible for you to live there. So, friends, one more thing. I would like to, before going to the vertical journey, I would like to tell you one more important aspect, to be understood in life. Because everybody wants success. Everybody is after success. We must know what is the real nature of success and the failure. That's very important. One of my young friends